Good morning, everybody. Hi, this is Carmela from Carmela's RASSLIN Radio Relived. I'm sorry that I sound like this, but I have been running around with a really, really, really bad cold. But I was just telling Jeannie that, and our co-host, that I wanted to make sure I filled my commitment, and I also wanted to make sure that we didn't have to postpone today's guest because he's a pretty cool guest. So I'm going to bring Jeannie on. And here she is, my buddy Jeannie. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Carmela. I love you.
I love you
I'm so
too.
sorry you're sick.
Oh, that's all right. Thank
Awful.
you. How do you feel?
Better. I'm better. I had a mishap. I'm a klutz.
Well, we
I
told
fell and
everybody.
sprained my knee and my ankle.
How is it now? Any better?
It's better. I'm walking. I'm limping, but I'm walking. So,
Good. Good.
every day is feeling a little better. Today, after this, I'm gonna try and venture down my stairs. I have 15 steps I have to go down. I have to take my trash out because I can't take the smell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a cat, so kitty litter, and I've done all
of
that,
course,
but
yeah.
I got to get it outside now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, I got really sick. I didn't go to work yesterday, and now Daniela's real sick. So we're going to pass it back and forth. But anyway, let's get started with our guest.
I'm so excited.
I am excited too. He's a great guy, wonderful man, and I really wanted to have him on today. Like we learned about a lot of other people, like with Glenn Osborne and Mike Kahlua and people like that who you don't mention all the time, and you don't hear about on WWE. And these people are people with incredible stories. These people are people that have contributed incredible things to this community.
Yes.
And he's got a lot to talk about. So we're going to bring him on without any further ado. You know him as Monsieur Ulala, Michael Houghton. Hey.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, it's doing okay right now. trying to get better here, but I had to do this podcast because it meant a lot to us.
Thank you.
And we've heard so much about you over the years. Now I met you years and years ago, and so did Jeannie. Unfortunately, I'm sad to say that Jeannie knows you a lot better than I do, because I haven't been to as many of the matches as she has, because she goes to a lot of indie shows. Yes. So Jeannie, I'm going to let you introduce more of this. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Ulala.
Wow, he is a legend, an absolute legend in this area, in the New Jersey, Delaware, Philly area. He has such a long career, and I know one thing. I was talking with a former promoter, and he said the one guy that he can always rely on, always depend on, who will do anything and everything without complaint, without, he just does it, is Ulala.
Wow.
That he is the greatest guy in the world. And he is. I am part, me, I love me the bad boys. So I love Ulala. Bad guy Ulala is my favorite, but I love Ulala overall, all the while. So yeah, he is the best. The first time I saw you, I believe it was at a TWA show. It was at the Flyer Skate Zone, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was the first or the second time, but Larry Winters came out with you as a manager, and I saw you, and it was like, okay, and you couldn't get up into the ring.
Oh my God, that's stuff that's funny as hell.
Oh my gosh, what the hell kind of show did I just come to?
Poor man.
And it was funny, but I was like, oh my Lord. And by the end of the match, I was in love. The absolute best. So where did you, how did you get into the business?
Okay. February 4th, 1986, I have the canceled check that I wrote to Larry Sharp to begin at the Monster Factory.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I'm confident when I say that February 4th, 1986 is when it all began. And back then we were at Mount Holly, New Jersey, in an airport hangar, and Buddy Rogers and Larry Sharp were there, and the guys that I had come up through, Tony Stetson was there, Bam Bam Bigelow, uh, Raven, before he took off to Portland, was there. Chris the Edge Evans, who I had I did a show with Tony Stetson in South Philly at a hospital, and that's who I worked that night. So he was actually probably my first match, Chris the Edge Evans.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, and I actually have a picture somewhere. Then I'll share that with you, Carmel, when I bring my stuff of everything down to you. That
Great.
yeah. I mean, I was smaller, much smaller back in 1986. I think I barely weighed maybe 185, and they wouldn't accept me they wouldn't take money from me to be a wrestler, but they would train me to be a referee. And if you do go to the Monster Factory, there is that one picture on the wall where it has the referee and all the wrestlers behind them. That was actually me from a news journal article in 1986 or 87. I actually have that article too still. So
Wow.
yeah, I've kept a lot of good stuff, I think, over the years, and I'm just glad I did. So that was my
Yeah.
official start.
Great.
Wow.
Now, I have a question. How, in God's name, okay, do you do all of that falling down without absolutely killing yourself?
I don't know. It just happens.
You are
It does. It's organic. I mean, it's just and the noise helps distract from what you're actually doing. And there's a lot of noise as a heel when I work. Um, just even backing me into a corner could be a hair raising experience for me and those around me. So, I mean, it's just it just happens. It's I don't know.
that's amazing because I saw the first time, same thing Jeannie saying. First time I saw you, um, you were trying to get into the ring, you kept falling down, falling down. Then you finally got into the ring and kept falling out and going back. And I thought to myself, is this guy okay? I mean, should he even be wrestling? And then you started kicking some butt, and I was like, oh wow, look at this. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable that you haven't literally broken something. I mean, it's like your legs are literal jello. I mean, it's not like it's just a fall. Like your legs bend in ways I don't think I've seen. And that's crazy. I don't know how you do that. It's ridiculous. I love it though. I absolutely love it. And just like Jeannie, as soon as I saw you, I was like, oh my God, this guy is awesome. And that's the reason why when we wanted to have you on the show, I had to make sure I was here. Okay. It would have been very easy for me to reschedule today because of the way I feel, but I wouldn't do that. I want to know, I want to hear everything you have to tell us about how you worked, how you who you interacted with. What was your worst match? What was your best match? Wrestlers that you felt comfortable with, wrestlers that you were literally afraid of, wrestlers that anything you want to tell us about any experiences you've had. Shoot.
Well, you know who scared the bejesus out of me when I first met them were the Mess brothers, Mark and Troy Mess.
Okay.
They scared the, and I was thankful I was a heel when I was working for Blaine DeSantis in PCW. And you know Mark Mess as well as I do, and
Yeah.
but boy, he scared the he made he made shit real. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
he
Now,
made it real.
does that help you when you do all the falling? I mean, do you really get upset and nervous? Is that why it's so easy for you to do that?
I still get nervous when I go out through the curtain.
Okay.
Even last night, I'm nervous.
Okay.
I,
But
I,
they
I
say that's a good thing, though. Don't ever give up those nerves.
no, it don't. I mean, even last weekend, when I was out in Central PA, I mean, 90% of what we did was in the ring. Nothing was really talked about in the back.
Oh wow. See, that's what I want to hear more about because when we talked about it with Davey O'Hannon and stuff like that, a lot of these modern wrestlers today have this plan, this rehearsed, that rehearsed. But when you guys started out, and I'm going even before you, okay, none of that was planned. It was just like, hey, look, so and so is going to win. Knock yourself out. Um, that's got to be hard. It's got to be hard going in the ring, whether you know the person or you don't know the person, and you don't know what's going to happen. You just play it all by ear.
Well, yeah, you're right. And the reason how I learned how to really work that way, and I'm going to share some stuff with you from the Kedner era that you're going to see and be like, everything was written out. Like, I'm not a memorizing kind of guy. And so when I first worked Jim Myers, Georgie Animal Steel, he worked me the minute I met him. He was full blown character, and I was a nervous wreck. This
Wow.
was the first time I had to work this gentleman. So I got dressed and I came back out and I was just like, all right, what are we going to do? And after him and Boogie Woogie Brown had a good hour long laugh at my expense,
Aw.
as they should have, because I mean, Boogie couldn't hide that he was laughing. His whole body shook when he laughed.
Yeah, yeah.
So he finally said to me, he goes, we're going to do nothing. And then I got horrified. I was like, who does nothing? How is nothing going to work tonight? And he says, well, if we don't do nothing, we won't mess nothing up. So there you went. 20 minutes of nothing. And he beat me from pillar to post.
Oh my God. That's crazy. And
But
what did you do? Just fight back?
I don't even remember. Ryan Kavanaugh shared a match prior to me working George Steele where when I was Irish Mickey, I wrestled Ivan Koloff in 92. And he showed me the match back. I gave Ivan Koloff a monkey flip out of the corner. Yeah,
Oh, I need to see that.
you'll have to talk to Ryan about that. That was I was just like, and again, it was we didn't talk. It just happened. It was just so I'm accustomed to that. So a lot of these younger guys, as you know, want to talk about stuff. And I'm like, you're trying to see how much stuff I forget. I mean, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to do this or that, and it's just
Right.
I, so when I work, this is a touchy subject. The younger guys, a lot of times I was just like, listen, we just got you got to you got to let the crowd take the crowd own your match. They own your match. They run your match, not you. If
Exactly.
if something happens in the ring, like happened in Central PA, where a woman told me that she was growing old, waiting for me to get started, I stopped everything. I was like, "You ain't lying. You're getting old," because that was heel la la.
Oh my God.
And
Now
guess
what made
what?
you go ahead, I'm sorry, no finish.
Now, guess what? She had, well, at the end of the night, when I wasn't feeling good, I needed to take a seat. Guess where I sat?
Next to her.
No, on her lap.
On her lap.
Just took a seat right there.
Oh my God, that's too funny. That is really funny. So now, what would you say was your, I'm going to say, best encounter? I'm not going to say match. I'm going to say encounter that you had, and who was it with?
I go right, probably the the matches I had with Cheetah Master, where we had three matches. It was for French Bastille Day, where we did a blindfold match and two other matches. That was probably that. I don't know, between Cheetah and Boogie. It really is I mean, I'm appreciative and grateful that I've worked the Ivan Koloffs, George Steele's,
Mm-hmm.
Valiant, Doink the Clown, uh, Sparky Plug, and but when I think back at Boogie Woogie Brown and Cheetah Master. They were probably my best matches, followed closely by JJ with the scaffold match,
Wow,
Wow.
which
you were in a scaffold match?
I was.
Wow.
And yeah, that made the covers of that made the magazines too, which was pretty neat. It was when it said "Don't mess with the ring crew," and I came out like I had elbow pads, knee pads, shin pads, shoulder pads, forearm pads, shin, calf
Oh
pads,
my
quad
God, you're
pads.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, and turns out the scaffold would not fit over the ring, so the scaffold was set up at the back of St. Matthew's Parish Hall,
Oh wow.
and we got up. So I don't know if he I don't know. I've never seen that match back, but I do remember that as I climbed the scaffold, I hit every plank on the way up. And at one point, JJ opened the plank and I stuck my head up, and of course, he closed it right on me. So that was a good ha ha moment.
Oh my
And
God.
at one point, Jim Kettner's like, I want to see maybe a backdrop or a body slam up there. And I'm telling you now, there was no way that was going to happen. You might, I mean, it was a 15-foot scaffold. It could have been 3 foot, and it felt like there was just no way that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Road Warriors own that match. They can
Yeah,
have it. They can have it.
you can
Them
have
and the
it.
Midnight Express.
Well, now you
So
said that it was all written. When you did the match when Kettner had the thing and it was all written, and you said you're not a memorizing kind of guy. What did you do in that particular instance when it was all memorized? It had to be memorized. I
well,
mean, is that when the wobbly legs came out and all that stuff?
no. So that's very funny you say that. So a lot of times we would do double duty. So I would wrestle as actually it was Irish Mickey back then and the Russian Invaders, one half of the tag team, who
Mhm.
ironically are still undefeated in the Carolinas. Um, though they So my tag team partner as the Russian was Pat Kenny, Simon Diamond.
Okay.
And if you ever see the footage or any pictures, he had the white boots, I had the black boots. And every time he tagged me in, I was just simply look at him and be like, "What's next?"
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's you wanted to no holds barred behind the curtain. I mean, that's how some of the, but it was everything that I knew. I just didn't never looked at it in written form.
How
So
about today? When you do your matches today, are they any of them written form?
no, uh-uh.
Good.
No,
Okay.
no, the skill level out there right now is like I've never seen before. And I only hope that these young guys stay healthy because I'm still working because I don't do what they do. My
Right.
lane is right here. And that's where I've I don't know why people don't do what I do, but they don't. And okay, that's fine. But I just know that I'm still working today, just like King Kalua and Tom Brandy, because we we have our niche, we have our place, and we execute it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It's good to know that you know where your place is. A lot of people today put themselves out there in a way that they shouldn't, and sometimes it comes and bites you in the back. You know what I mean? But that's good that you do that. But I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we had planned on doing a tribute show to Larry Winters. Tell us
Really?
something about Larry. Yeah.
Well, first, I regret that I didn't meet him sooner. Our paths never crossed, and I was able to spend a couple shows with him and talk with him, and just he he's great. Honest to God, I just I really wish I had spent some more time with him and had really gotten to know him because he had a sense of humor that was much like mine, uh, dry, um, subtle, but like a sledgehammer. If I
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was subtle like a sledgehammer too. I know that. So
Did you ever know Larry to be cheap?
I did not know.
We joke about that all the time. He was the $100 guy. He always had $100 on him because he could never change it, and you never had to pay that way. Yeah, right, Jeannie? Jeannie, you remember all that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah. He was famous for the $100 bill because he never went anywhere without that $100 bill. So if it was like, oh, okay, you want to chip in, or you want, oh, I only got 100, only got 100, can't break it, you
I
know.
think he would. I think he would only pull out that 100 that he always had. I think he just always carried it around as a gimmick. I think.
Did
Really.
anybody ever look at the date on that? I mean, how long did he have that? Was it a silver certificate, or
I know, I know.
It might have
I got
been.
a picture of him. I think Mike Tartaglia took the picture. He of him holding up the $100 bill. So I'll have to go look at that and kind of enlarge it and look and see the date because
That'd be
never
funny.
went anywhere without that.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you if you would like to be part of our tribute to Larry.
Oh, it'd be a privilege. Absolutely.
We're going to try and get a bunch of people together. We have a thing that's coming up with Joel Goodhart,
Okay.
and he is going to probably do one more event at some point. And Larry, if I'm not mistaken, was his trainer at his wrestling school.
Yeah.
And we all know and love Larry so much. As a matter of fact, last Sunday when I was being interviewed by Chubby Dudley on the Chewing the Fat, I had in the background the picture of Larry Winters holding my oldest daughter, who's now 40 years old. So that just shows you how old I am, but how long we've known each other. He was a great man. I mean, sometimes Larry and I sat and had the best discussions. We really did. And he was very smart, very, very smart. And he was also smart enough to pull that $100 deal all the time, But yeah, he was. Did you ever wrestle, Larry?
No, I didn't. I imagine there would have been a bunch of nothing happening for about 15 minutes.
I could just imagine you and him going at it and probably arguing the whole time in between, right?
You know what? My tag team partner, Wyndham, and I imagine it would be like that. Like the work we did last night was simply us bickering who was going to start the match.
Right.
Ended up with a foot stomp, an eye poke, and then slapping each other, only to be rolled up and pinned to what they thought was going to us lose the titles. That was our match.
Oh, wow.
And the place went bananas, and they went even more bananas when we did the Dusty finish. We were scheduled to wrestle X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So it was I imagine working with Wyndham would be identical to working with Larry.
Oh, that's nice.
Wyndham is something else. He's good.
So you're currently on a tag team title?
RCW Ultimate Tag Team Champion, one half. The better half, of course.
Of course. That's really great. When did you get that?
Oh, we've had that for probably a year and a half now.
Wow.
So, he runs shows sporadically. So he's got another show coming up in August. So we'll see what happens there.
And that's in Delaware. No, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's in PA. That's out in the Reading area.
Yeah.
That's good. Now you where do you live? Do you live in Pennsylvania?
Well, I was born in Kayfabe, France, and then we had moved.
Kayfabe, France. I never heard that before.
Well, you better. It's tough to find on the map. However, I live in Delaware now, right by the state line of PA, south of King of Prussia, Concord Mall area.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us a little bit about Kayfabe, France. What do you do in Kayfabe, France?
Well, I vacation there now. Yes.
It's nice.
It's a resort location. Yeah.
Good.
Very low key, very quiet.
I bet that's a good place to go. How did you come up with that name?
Ooh la la. Oh, Jim Kettner can tell you that story. Because apparently he does his best thinking on the can. Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, you asked the question, and so
now just do it.
Here are your unintended consequences to the question. Okay.
Just do it.
Yep. So he apparently thought of the whole name and he brought it to me because I was Irish Mickey. I was a baby face, and then that was horrible. The Irish Mickey has returned to DCW with Ooh La La to much success, thankfully to Zach Connor, who had the vision of what he could do with my character in DCW, which is in the Dover, Delaware area. So,
Wow.
yeah, he brought me full circle, which is remarkable. So, when I was introduced, much like Brutus Beefcake and Elijah, I would come out, not say anything, with Barry Casino.
Right.
And for 3 shows in a row, that's all I did was I just came out. And then I introduced my line of perfume of Je ne peux plus and Je ne peux pas.
Oh my-
Okay. Which Barry made this perfume that was just, well, it cleared you right up, Carmela. Okay.
Oh
It
my
cleared you
God.
right up.
Oh my God. That's
If they could
so
have patented
funny.
it, they would have. So,
That is too funny.
so then people came up and they got samples. And then they ran to the restroom to get the stuff off.
Oh my
But
God.
and
I'm not even going to ask you what was in there.
well, it had to be anything that you wouldn't put together. Tuna fish, maybe a
Oh,
yeah, tuna fish, maybe a little bit of rubbing, whatever it was. There was no plume of smoke when I opened those, so it was not that bad.
it wasn't toxic.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't toxic. But I remember a guy. I was like, he goes, I said, "Did your wife try the perfume?" She goes, "Yeah." Where is she? She goes, "She took off." I said, "See how it works?"
You
And I said,
had to find somebody else, right?
he goes, "No, she went to wash that crap off."
Oh my God. That's too funny.
Yeah, that's one of the best, the best moments. Yeah, Barry was
That's
something
funny.
else. So that's how it all began, and then I vowed where I couldn't get up the steps without tripping. Then
That is unreal. Anybody who has never seen this man wrestle, go see him wrestle. That is one of the most entertaining things you will ever see in your life, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
I love that. Again, to this day, I don't know how you did it. I have to be careful when I walk so that I don't fall for real. And you're just falling all over the place like it's nothing. I can't believe that. That is awesome. So tell us a little bit about Dominic. How did you meet him? What were your experiences with him like?
it was very brief, but it was probably one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. So it was at the it was ECWA, the Jersey Dugout. Um, Shane Douglas brought him down, and that was the second time I had met Shane, and he has been very kind to me since. He's just a wonderful man. He brought, and I was just like in awe. I was like, "Holy smokes! This is Dominic DeNucci. This is awesome." And
Hmm.
he brought his own merch, and I probably spent $40 on his merch that day.
Aw,
I did
that's
because I
nice.
had to send a picture to my friend Buddy, who is instrumental for me being in professional wrestling today. I mean, we live by the magazines in the early '80s,
Right, right, right.
probably even '79 if I can remember correctly. Holy smokes! So
Yeah.
so I got there and I was able to speak to him. He was kind, he was generous, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I get a picture with you?" And he's like, "No, no, that's fine." I said, "Do you mind putting these glasses on?"
Aw,
And he was a great sport about it. That is probably one of the coolest pictures that
yeah.
was, and that was
I'm going to put
again,
it up.
it was organic. I mean, he 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 brought an energy that to that building that day, and it was it was just
That's
cool.
Dominic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
just cool.
Dominic was an entity in himself. You know, he was just the most amazing person ever. We did a tribute show to Dominic a few weeks back, and it's amazing the stories. And we had Mick Foley on, we had Davey O'Hannon, we had Cody Roberts on. Um, and it was amazing. I mean,
His
amazing.
daughter Danielle, yeah.
Yeah, his daughter Danielle was there, of course, and like the stories are unbelievable. And of course, I know Dominic since I was 12 years old,
Okay.
and he practically lived at my house. He was always at my house and always friendly. He was. Well, I say this often, but my dad deserted me. My lost my whole family within a year and a half, and my father left me, and Dominic just stepped right up. He really did. He didn't have to do that, but he came and he helped out as much as he could as a dad, and I will never forget that. I will never forget that. And I told Danielle how blessed she is to have a father like that because he was truly an amazing man in multiple ways.
Yeah, he just generally loved being around the guys too.
Yeah.
He he just watched. I mean, I remember nobody got to Bruno until they went through Dominic.
Oh yeah. Oh, for
Nobody.
sure. And they were extremely best friends. I mean, big time best friends. And when Dominic's wife passed away, and then Bruno passed away within 6 months of each other.
Oh
And
wow.
I was talking to Dominic after Bruno passed, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he says to me, "Well," he said, "I lost my wife and my best friend 6 months apart." He goes, "What do you think?" I said, "Of course, you're not okay, but I mean, it's just something that people ask. You know what I mean? You don't know what to say, but
No.
it is what it is." And him and Bruno, or I should say, he and Bruno were extremely, extremely close. And I talked to Bruno several times, and if Dominic said something, Bruno believed it, hook, line, and sinker, because that's how much respect and love he had for him. So if Dominic said to him, you know, "Ooh la la's really from France," there's no such thing as kayfabe France, Bruno would have said, "Well, Dominic said it, so it's
Oh
true."
wow.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. So now tell us what is in the future for Mr. Ooh la la.
The fans will decide. As long as I can provide a a value to the show, and I continue to listen to them, they will run the show. I mean, the Pretzelmania match I did with King Reginald was like considered a hardcore match, and that was just fun. I mean, we wowed each other with bags of pretzels, and they went everywhere.
Oh my God. Did you
Oh my
say
God.
Pretzel Mania?
Yes, you did not know?
No, I did not. Tell
They
us
have
about
a
that.
they have a show, ECWA. They have a just like, it's not the Super 8, but every year they have the Super 8, which is like their WrestleMania, and then there's this Pretzelmania now, which is like an annual show that
Oh,
they
wow. So this is all about pretzels.
In this event, yeah, it was a hardcore pretzel match. Yep.
Oh my God. Tell me about the match. I want to hear it.
Actually, I'm gonna use to hear about the match is one thing. You should see the match, and I'll send you a link over so that you guys can watch it and tag it with this video. So
Oh my
that is
God.
that is something to see. For me
I'd
to
like
tell you
that.
about the match is one thing, but let the match speak for itself.
Now, how long ago was this match?
This was within a year.
Oh, okay.
Actually, around March, I guess, around WrestleMania time.
Okay, great. So there's going to be another one this coming March or upcoming March. They have
Yeah,
one every year.
on or about that, depending on how his calendar is working.
That's really cute. I like that. Pretzelmania. I like that a lot. I never no, never heard of it. Never
Well,
heard of it.
he
That's
actually
great.
started it, I believe, with World One, uh, that he had owned, and then
Okay.
and he has since brought back some of the titles from World One with ECWA.
Now
No,
tell me
Ryan
about.
Kavanaugh has done a fantastic job with the ECWA. It has been, I mean, having gone from Kettner to Mike to Ryan, the transition has been fairly seamless, and each one brought their own unique taste. I mean, of course, Kettner. I mean, he worked with some truly local, homegrown talent in the ECWA when I got on board. Um, at that point, I may have been one of the only guys that had gone through any kind of schooling. having come from the Monster Factory and having been able to work with Artie Palmer and Les Morgan and learning how to actually work. I learned how to bump at the Monster Factory as a referee because referees were constantly getting crushed in the 80s, it seemed.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So,
that's for sure. So what other federations have you been in?
uh, wow. So there's RCW. I've been doing work with MAWA in, I guess they're Central Jersey, MAWA, ECWA, Dynamite Championship Wrestling, run by David Klein, and the booking agent is Zach Connor down in Lower Delaware. Um, I just did a show with Vince Goodnight out in Central PA, and in early 2000 or 2001, I still have the plane ticket, but he actually flew a bunch of us out to Nebraska to do 2 shows at one
Very
point.
good.
Yeah, that was very cool. That was actually a wonderful experience, and so they ribbed
So
me pretty good on that weekend.
tell us about that match. How was it? Who'd you wrestle?
Oh my god, I can't. I honestly I can't remember. I keep bugging Vince for the VHS copy of it. Um,
VHS.
maybe he's got it on DVD now.
Oh my
But
god.
that was I actually still have the T-shirt from that show, and I
Nice.
didn't realize how many guys T-shirts I've had. I got Mike Cruel's T-shirt. I don't know if you remember him from the New York area, but his father was a fun guy to talk to, telling his stories working Sal Balomo up in New York.
Oh my god, Sal Balomo, that's a name from the past.
Yeah, that is a name from the past. But
Wow.
yeah, so
How
that I
about
mean,
that?
so yeah, I I do want to. I have done some work for AXW, um, and I do want to hit. I do want to do a show or two with Three Legacies. So
Now
yeah,
where are they?
they're out in Lancaster. That's run by Rodriguez.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so yeah, they guess there's some good. There's such good talent. There's so much work out there. It honestly feels like the '90s all over again as an independent.
Really?
It does. I mean, it has that same vibe. It has that energy. It's just
This is great. I mean, you're telling me stuff that is like unbelievable. I didn't know there were so many of these indie organizations.
Oh,
Like,
oh
they're
it's
all
crazy.
over. Yeah, and it's in my opinion, it's good and bad. It's great that there are a lot of indie guys that can get work and schedule, but a lot of the times, like I remember, in a lot of the promotions, they would schedule their shows the same day as the other promotions, and then fans are like, "Well, where do I go?" You know,
the fans are forced to choose,
right? Which
and
is unfair. You
it is
know,
unfair. And I do not like doing double shots.
yeah,
I nope.
No, I don't blame you.
I feel like you're cheating the fans.
Yeah,
yeah,
Part of the experience for the fans is to meet the guys and the girls,
right,
and and if you're doing double shots, you lose all that.
yeah.
exactly. So now tell us, you seem to be a person who is extremely dedicated to fanism. Just from listening to you talk, you give a lot of credence to the fans, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love that. And I was saying not too long ago, like these other big organizations, like they address the fans as a group. The WWE universe, the AEW universe, whatever. But talking to you, to me, it seems like you're the type of wrestler person, who wants to give the people what they came for and wants to meet them and wants to be on a personal level with them. And in the WWE and the AWA and TNT and some like stuff like that, you can't. You really can't. It's almost impossible to hook up with some of these wrestlers in any kind of capacity. But I hope that when the people listen to this podcast today, that they realize that there are still wrestlers who care about the people. And I find that completely commendable of you. You seem to bring it up all the time. The fans will determine where you're going with your future. The fans are being cheated. The fans like to meet the people. And I think that's so important, Mike. It's amazing that I think that's why you've come so far in your career. And I think that's why you're still doing so well in your career, is because you care. You literally give a damn about the fans. And I think that is something that needs to be noted. And I admire you for that.
I have a story, and everything you just said is 100%. One of my coworkers loved wrestling, and I told her, and so, come to a show. And she had, her daughter was, I think, 8 years old at the time, and she loved wrestling. It was her very first show ever. And we were at ECWA down in Delaware. And at the beginning of the show, of the night, doors open, say at 6, show starts at 7 or whatever. So from 6 to 7, a lot of the times you can interact with the wrestlers, get pictures taken, buy their merch, whatever.
Right.
So I saw lala, and I'm like, and I said, oh, I want to introduce you to my friend and her daughter. And I said, this is her very first show ever. Show. And he was like, oh, wow. And he took her into the ring to take a picture. And
nice.
she was like, she couldn't, I mean, she's in college now, but, at the time it was like, that's awesome, and it was like, to go and and even my friend, our friend, Christine, her son, Jake, she came, and it was like the same thing, getting, Jake is now 6'4". He's gone to wrestling school, and that's his dream to do that. But it's all like, ooh la la. He is the best with the fans, especially the kids. There's no one better. There's no one better. And there are a lot of guys out there, which is why I only go to indie shows. I have no interest to ever go to a WWE or AEW event ever. And
I get that.
I only watch if I see some of the indie guys make it to like a dark match on AEW. I'll watch that just to see them. Once I see them, I turn it off. Like, I have no interest.
You're right. Seeing these young kids get those opportunities, and
I feel like a proud mama.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I mean, the latest one was Goldie working with Cody Rhodes, and then you'll see, Deanna Peruzio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Actually, even knowing that Chelsea Green has come up through the ranks, and worked the show for DCW with Deanna, and then went to Philly the next day for Ring of Honor. Now she's there. Sharing a locker room with Christian, Edge, and Tess, and next thing you know, they're giving you a 5-second pose, which is still, you know what I mean? Like, all these guys, the Haas brothers, watching them, even the Briscoes. I mean, they were, God, they've been all over the world, but for whatever reason, haven't gone to WWE, and now it's just the one Briscoes, But I mean, when you see these guys, even when I see these young kids in the PWI 500, I'm like, I know how they feel.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I was in it, I was like, thought I wanted to hit the lottery.
Aww.
It didn't pay, but it was really cool.
But it was a good feeling.
Oh, it was absolutely, it was a level of recognition.
Exactly.
That your work, and that would be Bill Apter, that would be Brandy Makowitz, Dan Murphy, those folks that they saw something in us, and there's so much good. I mean, he's still working today, but well, of course, Low Key, who actually I did share the ring with him one night in the ECWA. I did a match with Low Key, and boy, was that a fun match.
I think I remember that match. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to hide
Yeah.
under the ring. I came out with a mask on, hoping he wouldn't recognize me. I mean,
Oh my God.
none of it worked.
I was there for that one. Yeah.
None of it worked. Well,
No.
you know, it's funny. It's amazing how, and I said this before too, how you guys remember so many things, dates, times, people's names, people's aliases. Like, I'm lucky if I remember who's that lady up here working with us. I'm lucky if I remember Jeannie's name. But it's amazing how you guys remember these incredible tidbits, you know. But I have to reiterate again that I think it's completely and totally amazing and commendable that you are such a fan person. Like Jeannie said, our friend Christine, when her son came over, he was just a little boy, you know, same thing. And we told the wrestlers it was his first match and he loved wrestling. And like she said, right in the ring and blah, blah, blah. You have no idea how much a gesture that a wrestler makes to a child can impact them in a good or bad way for the rest of their lives. You know, there's an old saying that says, never meet your hero because you'll be disappointed. And I think in your case, that's never a case. I don't think that would ever be the case in somebody meeting you as their hero to ever be disappointed.
Thank you.
I think that's amazing. I think it's wonderful. I think that it means, to me personally, it means the world that somebody cares enough about the fans to say, well, yeah, I want to be there. I want to interact with the fans. I don't want to do a double shot. I don't like that. It's not fair to the fans, you know? And again, like I said, the purpose of this podcast is to tell stories. It's to be no kayfabe. It's to be old school, all this other stuff, but also things like this where people learn about wrestling, what they didn't know. And people know that now if they see you anywhere, especially at a wrestling match, not to be afraid to come up and introduce themselves or say hello. Because that's another thing that people of all ages get scared of. You know, well, how are they going to react? How is he or she going to treat me? Should I try to say hello? Should I not? Am I going to get yelled at? Am I going to get blown off? You know?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because when you see the kids, my first question to them is, can I have my picture taken with you?
Aw. See, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you had to break the ice.
Yeah.
And even the parents are kind of standoffish a little bit. And then they make the mom and dads get their picture too.
Oh, that's good. See, that's really good. But like I said, these kids, they don't realize. They really don't. They don't realize what it's like. Like, you know, WWE, AEW, whatever. Unless it's pre-planned, where you're paying multiple dollars to have your picture taken with one of them, and they barely say hello. You know, I don't like the fact that a lot of times these meet and greets are done behind a table, where the wrestler sits behind the table and the fan sits in front of the table. And that's how you get your picture taken with them. Like, who the hell are you? Like, really? You can't stand next to me? I don't like that. And again, hundreds of dollars for that. And I think that's degrading, and I think it's very disrespectful to the fans. And like I said before, with all the money that people put out for these wrestlings, especially WrestleMania, I think WWE should at least do one thing that's completely free, completely, and let the wrestler deal with that, you know. But unfortunately, that's never going to happen, I don't think. But it's a suggestion, you know.
No.
Have Mr. Ooh La La up there; he'll do it. He'll do it, right? Now, when can we see you next?
Wow. Let me get my phone out.
Okay.
So I had to put it on a Word document.
Is it the 12th or the 13th? Do you have a show?
It's a good question.
In Gloucester City?
It's a good question.
That's a very good question. We're going to find out right now.
I think.
So, no, I'm not in Gloucester City. That's in September, I believe, with MAWA. Is that the one you're talking about?
No. I might be having you confused with Michael Lilla.
I know. He was a fantastic tag team partner, just so you know. We have tagged once.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, for CCW, and if it wasn't for Maven getting in our way,
Getting in our way.
yes, we would have won.
I yes.
Maven. That is too funny. Maven is the way. He gets in everybody's way. God
Well,
bless.
he joined my potato club.
He did.
He did. So if I get potatoed by you every now and again, I haven't been potatoed in a while. I would put up a big bag of 5-pound bag of potatoes and tag you in it. Well, he hit me so hard, my
Oh
face.
no.
He actually called. He actually texted me, and my reply to him, I saved because you'll have to let me know if you see this. I'm going to hold up to the camera, but I only had one reply to him really.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You are too funny. That is too funny.
And for the
Wow.
record, he's a big people
Oh
person.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. Can you see it clear enough or
Yeah.
not really? So,
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's a big boy.
well, Anthony. I think Fabrizio. He
Yes.
Oh.
he was taking pictures that night, and then he made Maven stop and hold me for additional pictures. That's what that was.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wow. So
yeah,
who thought of the potato thing?
pardon me.
Who thought of the potato thing?
Well, it's always been. I've always known it through the industry through the '90s. If you get like I've given Boogie Woogie Brown, I gave him a shot one time. I used to do the thing where the big put him across the second rope and then slide underneath like the Bossman did, and give him a shot. And I gave him a
Yeah.
shot, a real shot, and all I heard him do was laugh. so I was like, sorry, Boog. But
Not quite the way I wanted it to go.
no, but that's where, yeah, but so if I get potatoed by somebody, they they get that image, not that particular image, but a nice big sack of potatoes.
So
And
you always.
I'm not a receipt guy either.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a receipt guy. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Do
know,
you always carry potatoes with you now?
no, I don't carry potatoes with me, but I'll take it. I'll pick up a bag at the market and take a picture the next day, or
Ah,
snag one off the give them the recognition they've earned.
And I
you're
have to
funny.
say, whenever he is going to an event, whether it's a con or a wrestling show, no matter where it is, I know I can always look forward to your video of that you're on your way. And the music, and usually whatever music you're playing in your car, that's the music you're going to come out to the ring. And it's amazing and it's great. It's just any fan that knows you knows what I'm talking about. And yeah, those videos. How do you come up with all this fun stuff? I mean,
It's
you
just
are my favorite human being. You are just so funny and so real and so genuine, and I just love you. But how do you do it? How does your my mind? I'm like, okay, I'm falling in the street, tripping over my legs. I don't know how. Like,
it just happens. It's
yeah.
probably from watching years of comedy. I
Mhm.
mean, like one of my one time I literally dropped the phone while doing it, and I kept going while I was trying to find the phone. And when I finally found the phone, I put it back on. I was upside down. I didn't know this. It's it's one take. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You get what you get.
You get
yeah,
what you get,
yeah.
exactly.
You
I
get what you
like that. Well,
get.
it's good that you have such a carefree attitude about so many things. And I think, does that carry on into your personal life as well?
Sure as shit does. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. It sure shit
yeah,
does.
uh-huh. Yeah, and it's troublesome for some people who don't understand it, but it's just at the end of the day, what do you control?
Exactly. You're very true. You're very right.
What do you truly control? I'm
Not
not going.
much.
Yeah, no, just this. and this is a
That's
lot to work with. Okay, so we only control what we can control.
So
And
now,
when
what made you get those glasses? Did you have them made, or did you come across them
I
somewhere?
came across them, and I can't find anymore.
Really?
Oh no, I gotta get me some. Quick.
Oh, wait till you see the prices of them. I had bought. In fact, I did one video where there was 4 different glasses. There was the purple, black, yellow, and red. And not many people noticed it when I cut the video that I kept changing the glasses. It would pan back to me, and I'd have a different pair of glasses on. So when that comes up in my memories, I'll have to make sure I share it again.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
Please do.
but
The one
so
with Dominic, you have white, yellow ones, right? The one
yes,
with Dominic, yeah.
yes,
I
um,
like them. I like them a lot.
yeah. I might have another pair in the basement. I don't know, but I'd have to go look. But it
They
was
have a French flair to them, though. They do.
they they sure do.
Yeah, they do. I
So
like that.
when you see me on the 3rd, you're getting vintage. Ooh la la.
I can't wait to see you on the 3rd. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to have fun. I can't wait. And I'm telling all the fans, please come. If you want to go see an independent show, just go. You're
I'm,
not going to be disappointed.
well, look at that first match they announced: Darius Carter and Christopher Daniels.
Oh my god, I marked out. I was like, because I've seen Darius Carter. I saw him win the Super 8. He's fantastic. He is fantastic. Yeah, that is going to be
Working that match with him was fantastic.
yeah.
You talk about nerves, holy smokes!
Oh, I'm
So,
sure.
but I'm also interested in seeing Christopher Daniels again because he helped me understand who I am, and here's how. It was at the Super 8 tournament, I believe, and I said to him, I said, "Man, I wish I could do just once the stuff that you do in the ring, just once. I just wish I could do anything." Because I can't do any of it that he does, except walk to the. Well, I can't even walk to the ring without injury. So, so he goes. He said, "No, no, I want to do what you do." I said, "Are you kidding me? You want to do what I do? That
Aw.
doesn't even make sense." He goes, "Sure it does." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "What happens when you walk through that curtain?" I said, "Well, they're booing. They're agitated. They're all over me like white on rice." I'm like, he goes, "That's what I want to do. I have to go out there and I get a golf clap for something, but you simply walk through that curtain and the crowd is turned upside down."
That's awesome.
That, yeah, he helped really put everything into perspective.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really unbelievable. I like the way he said that. And it's funny because, sometimes you think that you're the one who hopes for things and you're the one who wishes for things. And then you find out that somebody else wishes to be you. And, to me, that is a mind blowing event.
Oh, it is. I mean, for years I thought Vince lost my number. I just think I just, but my path is my path. I'm where I'm supposed to be right now in life, including this
Exactly.
moment. This moment's mine.
Exactly.
So it's all good. I had my 15 minutes of fame on, and a fan told me what episode it was. It was episode 288 of Monday Night Raw, when the group of guys went down to Baltimore Arena, and we worked with Paul Bearer, Kane, and The Undertaker that night. And Undertaker was scary.
Yeah.
He was just scary. In a
Yeah.
character, out of character, he was just.
Yeah. He was.
But I mean, that was it. And I'll never forget. We're all lined up behind the Titantron, and the Undertaker just walks up to us, looks down at all of us, and says, "Do you boys work?" We all looked up. "Yes, sir."
Aw.
He looked good, and that's it. That was it. Now Kane, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was the first one over the guardrail. If you ever watched the video, and and I had to make it look like I wasn't a wrestler. So, I struggled to get over. Well, that wasn't even an act. I did struggle to get over the guardrail. So, and then I started kind of gaining on him. I was like, well, I don't want to do that because if I catch him, he hits me, I go down, and I'm not getting up. You know what I mean? So I put some separation between us. There was 2 partitions. He went through the first partition we went through. He went through the second partition, and he waited. He waited for us. And he actually thanked all of us for what we did for him that
Oh,
day.
good.
And Paul Bearer, he actually did a show in the ECWA with us when he came out behind Carlton P. Hightower, who was about 5'4". He was managing the valedictorians and measuring him up. That was just he was such a nice man.
Oh, that's nice. I love listening to your stories. Your stories are amazing. And I am not disappointed one bit in this show. It's exactly as I thought it would be. And even then some. You're a great man, Mike, and I wish you so many more years of success because in my opinion, you are the real deal.
Yeah.
And you're prime. I'm serious. You're prime. And we definitely, if you would allow it, we would love to have you back on the show.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to speak about. We haven't even talked about Chief Halftown swallowing all the flies and running out of the ring like he was a 110-pound worker but that's for another day.
Okay, that's for another day. I want to hear about that one.
Yeah,
right,
There's some great stories from the Monster Factory. There's some beautiful stories with Heidi Lee and her father. I mean,
she's actually going to be a guest too. Yeah,
oh,
we can get her on. Yeah.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, she is. She's really wonderful. But listen, I just loved having you on. I can't thank you enough. And we are going to have you back for the Larry Winters tribute. We're going to have you back again. Please forgive me for doing the show not feeling well, but I had to do it. It was excellent, and I'm so honored that you came.
Oh, it's been a blessing and it's a privilege for me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. All
See
right,
you soon.
See you soon, honey. Go ahead.
All right, so this is RASSLIN Radio Revived, right?
Relived.
So, relived. So
right.
You're getting everyone to give you a tagline, right?
A what?
A tagline?
Such as?
Hoo la la! You're watching Carmela's Radio RASSLIN Relived. Tune in. The stories.
We.
That's right.
Yay. Ooh la
Say
la.
her name, Carmela.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Merci beaucoup.
I got chills.
Whatever the hell you just said, all right.
That's actually thank you in French. I can speak French.
Just your American French. You would embarrass yourself in Paris if you.
In Paris, even the Café Paris.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. I'm going to take you off now, but please keep in touch, and we'll see you again soon.
Yep.
Love you,
guys.
It was great.
Love and
thank you.
Kids.
Okay, bye. Jeannie, what a show.
Oh my God. How can you not fall in love with him?
I love him.
There's something wrong with you.
He's such a genuine, kind man.
Yes.
Such a genuine person who cares about the fans. Yeah. And for me, that's enough. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
All right, sweetie, I'm going to go back to bed.
All right. Feel better if you need anything.
Thank you. I will. Same to you. And you make sure that you let me know if you need anything. I'm going to end this recording now and tell you that I love you.
I will
see you